Michigan fans, Michigan women's hockey is live and on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at Mount Clemens Ice Arena, where it is the season opener for your Michigan Wolverines women's hockey program as they face off against arch rival Michigan State University. This game is hosted by the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club as they do a wonderful job out here, and great squad. As the music pops on here, take a look. This is the season opener for these two squads. Michigan had a scrimmage that happened between Michigan, the white and the blue. That ended up in a scoreless tie, and then they played the Bell Tire senior women's team, which is a fantastic team. Had a short bench, but they really played lights out, and Michigan unable to get on the scoreboard in that one as Bell Tire won that game. But that is scrimmage. This the official season opener. Last season, I promise, next game we'll actually talk about this season as we'll have a game. But last season, Michigan was 10-8-2. They finished off the regular season by going to Penn State. They fell in the first game, but then won the second game in overtime. That was good enough to get Michigan into the CCWHA tournament, where they were able to take down Miami University in overtime. That was a 3-2 win by Michigan in overtime. That got them to the second day of the tournament, where they ran into just a buzzsaw of a Indiana Tech team, as Indiana Tech won that one 3-0. Michigan really did clamp down and draw out with the defense, making a contest for much longer than it could have been. And they played well, but Indiana Tech able to prevail 3-0. We talked about this before, but Michigan losing three players to graduation. Julia Freeman on the defensive side, Mary Claire Shorkey and Sam Crone on the offensive side. As far as in the top 10, though, Sam Crone was number 7 in points provided with 3 goals and 4 assists, and Mary Claire Shorkley was number 10 on the team with 5 points, 3 goals, and 2 assists. Both played pivotal roles for the team, but as far as scoring, the top 6 scorers are back for Michigan. Megan Matthews with 10 goals and 6 assists, 16 points. Mariah Evans with 15 points on 9 goals and 6 assists. Jessie Simmer with 13 points on 5 goals and 8 assists. Katie German from the defensive side chipping in at 10 points on 5 goals, 5 assists. Michaela Rubin had 9 points on 4 goals, 5 assists, and Erin Proctor had 8 points on 5 goals, 3 assists. At number 8, Ava Gargiulo is back. She had 6 points on 3 goals, 3 assists, and Anna Thomas got 6 points on 1 goal and 5 assists. She was at the number 9 spot. So Michigan hoping to have a good offense returning, looking to try and get that offense going here in the opening game. They obviously have Ponith between the pipes. She has been absolutely outstanding, was wonderful last season with a .954 save percentage, and played very, very good against Belle Tire and, of course, against Michigan. Taking a look at the Spartans, they were 10-9 last season as they wrapped up the regular season as they got a win back on February 18th at University of Michigan Dearborn. That was 5-4. Then they dropped over at Griff's Georgetown to Grand Valley State, the last game of the regular season, February 19th. That was Grand Valley State with the win 4-1. Then Michigan State went into the CCWHA playoffs. They were able to beat Grand Valley State, get a little revenge. Always hard to beat a team back-to-back, as Michigan State won that one 5-1, cruised into the second day where they ran into Adrian College, who Michigan gets to face tomorrow at 7 o'clock. That is never an easy test. And Adrian, the water spigot broke open, and Adrian won that one 9-0. Taking a look, 5 of the top 10 scorers are back for the Spartans. Asimakis graduated. She had 23 big points. She was the number 1 scorer with 14 goals and 9 assists, so she's no longer with the team. But the next 4 are, as Menzer had 19 points on 12 goals, 7 assists. She's back. Daniels had 18 points on 5 goals and 3 assists. Novell had 17 points on 8 goals and 9 assists. Schmitz graduated. She had 12 points on 3 goals and 9 assists, as well as Graham is graduated with 11 points, 5 goals, and 6 assists. Manderfield is back at the number 7 spot in points with 9 points on 3 goals and 6 assists. Then the number 8 and 9, Piernot, graduated. She had 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points. And Jerva graduated with 4 points, 1 goal, and 3 assists. The number 10 spot is from the defensive side, McPherson. She is back. She had 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points. Taking a look at what is coming up next for Michigan, is let's pull up the graphic, and it is today, of course, October 1st, is the Michigan State game. Then tomorrow, October 2nd, they go into Arrington Ice Arena at 7 p.m. So get out there, beautiful ice rink to catch a game in. And that will be a very, very tough game. So Michigan could use all the maize and blue support they can get out there. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow. Then they go on the road for the weekend, and I believe, hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be able to make it with them. October 8th is going to be at Lake Superior State University. That will be a 7 p.m. game up in the Sioux. Then October 9th, they will have a 12 p.m. game at Lake Superior State University. That is that Sunday. Then on October 13th, Michigan hosts Utah. That's a 8 p.m. game at Yost Ice Arena. So check that out. And get out there and cheer on your Wolverines as you get to see a team Utah that you probably don't get to see a lot in the friendly confines of Yost Ice Arena. Well, we do want to thank the Mount Clemens Ice Arena for hosting this, and the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club for having us all here. We appreciate that, as we do want to thank all the wonderful sponsors of the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club. That includes Bison's Plumbing, Moran Automotive Group, Mount Clemens Chiropractic, Doug A. Dobeck, DC, Maud Lexus, BNR Sports, Perennies Hockey World, Girl Power Athletics, Victory Motors, CrossFit Platoon, Michigan Athletic Training, The Mat, T2 High Performance Training, Close with Christine Realtor, Just Tees In, and Eye for You Photography, The Great Frame Up, Metro Jet Swag Sales, The Hockey Stands United, and Getco Sourcing. As 6 minutes counting down, let's play as we will trying to see. Sounded like someone was about to pop on the public address announcement. So let's go and play just a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and we will be right back as Michigan getting ready to hop on the ice. We're counting down about 5 minutes and 40 seconds till puck drop here. Thank you for joining us for Michigan State, the opening game of the CCWHA season in the ACHA conference. I hate to cut temptation short, but we do. The public address announcer is hopping on here. So both teams lined up. Michigan in their blue sweaters with the block M on the front, white stripe across the middle, numbers on the shoulder, on the back, and the dark pants. The Spartans are in their home whites with the Spartan logo on the front, numbers on the shoulders, and back in green dark pants. Now for the starting lineups. Rubin comes out at center for Michigan. She skates out to the blue line. As Lindahl comes out for Michigan, starting. Mariah Evans at the other wing comes out onto the ice. Kolwich at defense skates out to the blue line. Annabelle Levinson playing the other defensive position. And between the pipes is Poneth. Head coach is Jenna Tribbiano. Assistant coaches are Ned Glisson, Carrie Inman, and Joe Upton. Now for the home team, the Spartans, and their starting lineups. As Rodman skates out to the blue line. Daniel skates out to the blue line. Zagrobelny skates out. Trialot comes out to the blue line for the Spartans. Novell, the captain, skates out to the blue line for the Spartans. As it is Van Solkema between the pipes for the Spartans. Head coach is Robert Blackburn. Assistant coaches are Thomas Hall and Todd Graham. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. fantastic rendition of the Star Spangled Banner here as we're getting ready to kick off the CCWHA season. Michigan versus Michigan State. It doesn't get much better than that. Again, hosted by the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club. And there will be a game afterwards as the Metro Jets, and I believe the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club on Hockey TV here, as Mount Clemens Ice Arena and the Jets were so kind to let us hop up on their press box here to broadcast. So we are exceedingly grateful. Both teams getting warmed up and getting their helmets back on, ready to go. Again, new sweaters for Michigan this season, and winged helmet back, the wings back on the helmets. Looking slick, the Spartans, and their very traditional hockey jerseys. Makes for a fantastic matchup. Good crowd across the way, as there is a lot of folks in this arena and outside as they were buying some Jets gear and Metro Jets gear and getting some snacks, things of that nature. All righty, getting ready to go as it's Rubin right at center ice as Radman on the other side. Lindahl to Rubin's right, Evans to the left. That puck loose, picked up. Trialet trying to send it ahead. That brought back into the Spartan zone. Novell has it, sends it all the way down the ice. That'll go back behind the Michigan goal. Levinson picks it up there. Levinson rims it around the far boards. Evans trying to pick it up. That deflects right back behind the Michigan goal. Evans takes it underneath the near circle. Evans bringing it ahead. That tipped away. Coming over is Zagrobelny has it in the far corner. That rimmed all the way back into the neutral zone. Picked up by McPherson. McPherson over to Novell. That puck bounces right at the Michigan blue line, fed ahead by Michigan, but stolen away by Novell. Novell gets it right to the Michigan blue line where it's tipped away. Loose at center ice as McPherson sends it deep into the near corner of the Michigan zone. Picked up there by Rubin as she goes back behind Poneth from the near side to the far side. That puck back to the far point, held in by Siciliana. That puck brought over as Kolwich has it back behind her own goal. Kolwich sends it back out to the near point. Swanson gets it out into the neutral zone, tipped away by the Spartans as that puck comes in along the near boards. McPherson firing it down deep. That into the near corner. Levinson trying to pull it away, battling with Lazar. That into the far corner. Swanson trying to tip that, but fired right back deep by Novell, back behind the Michigan goal. Levinson has it there into the near corner. Levinson battling with Anderson, trying to get it out of the zone. Here comes Michigan into the neutral zone. It goes. Matthews has it back over to Simmer. That brought ahead to Swanson. Tipped away, though, and the Spartans get it right back into the neutral zone. Brodsky with the feet ahead. That just out of Anderson's reach. Forehand goes back to get it. Back behind her own goal from the near side, or far side of the near side. Simmer trying to get it. The puck loose on the near circle. Comes over back to the near point. Now rolls all the way over to the far point as Matthews tips it down the neutral zone. That deflected by Michigan, trying to get it into the far corner is DeCreasy. DeCreasy battling along those boards, that outside the far circle. Daniels feeds it ahead. Michigan holds it in at the far point, but that slips back into the neutral zone. Forehand battling with Brodsky at the near point. The puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone as Gargiulo takes it. Gargiulo switches directions over center ice, fires it deep into the Spartan zone. That deflects back behind Van Solkom into the far corner. Loose on the far circle as Gargiulo taking a backhanded shot, but that deflected by the Spartan defense. That puck into the far corner as Radman has it, knocked away, but that slips back into the neutral zone. Carried back by Katie German. She fires it over in along the near boards. Gathered in by McCarthy, top of the near circle of her own zone, fed into the near corner. Katie German takes it back behind her own goal, comes up the near boards. Katie German avoiding some pressure over her own blue line, gets over center ice. Katie German gains the zone into the slot. Shot! That's sticked away by Van Solkema into the near corner. Rubin has it outside the near circle. Back to the near point. That slips into the neutral zone where McCarthy has it. McCarthy trying to feed it ahead. Daniels sends it deep into the Wolverine zone. Poneth will stick it over to Katie German. Katie German firing it all the way down the ice. That intercepted by Triolet right in front of her bench. Grabbed by Lindahl. Lindahl trying to get it into the zone, but that pulled away by Santi. Now Swanson gains the zone into the high slot. Swanson on the far circle with a shot, and she scores! Swanson puts it in for the opening goal of the season. Michigan goes up 1-0. That at the 16:30 mark in the first. As Michigan took a couple games to get on the boards last season, and with the scrimmage, a scrimmage between Michigan and with Bell Tire, hopefully that got the offense out to a much quicker start. That sent deep by Matthews into the near corner. Michigan up 1-0. Siciliano has it now. Michigan trying to fire it over to Rubin. There's a shot by Koltwich that goes wide and covered up by Van Solkema. 16:22 left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Face-off will be to Van Solkema's left in the near face-off circle. That is Matthews versus Flazar. In the face-off circle, that puck into the near corner. Simmer trying to grab it. That pulled away by Novell coming up the boards. Sent into the neutral zone, collected by Kolwich, firing it ahead. Now that back behind the Spartan goal, stopped by Van Solkema. Grabbed by Novell, who sends it outside the far circle. Sent ahead by Santi. Gaining the zone, Flazar sends it deep into the far corner. Forehand has it there. That puck loose. Flazar battling along the boards, has it outside the far circle. Back to the far point, held in by Dewar with a shot. That knocked down out in front. Here comes Michigan as Matthews sends it ahead to Simmer. Picked up, coming down the near boards. Here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy on the near circle. DeCreasy with a shot, saved by Van Solkema into the far corner. DeCreasy, the new grad student with Michigan, as Michigan has 8 freshmen coming in and 1 grad student. That's DeCreasy from Detroit. She's trying to peel it off of the far boards and along the end boards as that's pulled back over by Schlee. Schlee firing it ahead. Now trying to grab it is Gargiulo. That puck all the way back into the neutral zone. Izzy German has it at center ice. Izzy German ahead to Gargiulo. Gargiulo takes it top of the near circle with a shot that goes wide. Chasing it, Evans trying to pick it up. Rabman gets it to the far point, but Proctor holds it in there. Swept over to Evans on the far circle with a shot that deflects high. Proctor feeds it back. That puck loose into the near corner. Rabman has it back behind her own goal. Feeds it over. That to McPherson, held in by Katie German at the near point. Katie German with a shot that deflected in the slot. Couldn't get it through the skates over there, but picked up by Rubin back behind her own goal. Rubin backhands it into the slot. That loose on the far circle. Proctor trying to get to it. Now Rubin outside the far circle feeds it on edge all the way back into the near corner. Picked up by McPherson. Puck wouldn't settle down for her. Held in. McCarthy poking it here just down to our right. Trying to grab it there was Rubin as well as Brodsky had it. Now coming over. Shot and a score! Michigan puts it in. Goldman makes it 2-0 with a goal at 14-13. As Goldman able to fire it in. And Michigan up 2-0. Last time these two teams played each other was up at the Center Ice Arena, and Michigan was able to get the win 3-1 in that game. Malashevsky in to take the face-off versus Rabman. Michigan up. It says 3-0, but it's 2-0. Scoreboard just a little incorrect there, but they'll correct that. Daniels feeds it back over. Pull back, Michigan gathering it in. Christensen gains the zone. Christensen into the near corner. That pulled back as Malashevsky has it outside the far circle, gets it back to the far point. Kolwich with a shot. That loose on the near circle, trying to pull it away as Leonard. Now Swanson into the near corner. Christensen chips it off of the edge. Battle for it out in front. Save by Van Solkema. Still loose. Now a whistle. Michigan pounding away at the puck, but Van Solkema able somehow to keep it out of the goal as it's 2-0 Michigan with the lead. Face-off will be to Van Solkoma's left in the near face-off circle. If that's Flazar versus Matthews in the face-off circle. In along the near board, Simmer trying to get to it. The Spartans feed it ahead as here comes Mickelson down the near boards. Mickelson has it poked away, trying to avoid a delayed offsides. That fired deep by Novell into the near corner. Forehand chases it. Now Izzy German has it underneath the far circle. Back to forehand, back behind her own goal. Knocking it away from Mickelson. As Simmer trying to get it all the way down the ice. That icing waved off as Triolet chases it into the far corner. Swanson and Triolet battle in along the end boards. Gathered in by Novell, the captain. Bouncing puck. Michigan holds it in as Matthews over to forehand. That shot was deflected. Pulled back over as here comes Santi. Santi gains the Michigan zone. Shot knocked, blocked by forehand, loose on the near circle. Michigan collects it. Going the other way is Malashevsky. Malashevsky spinning, using her body to try and keep it away from Brodsky, but that knocked down, taken down as Santi had it. Now fired over Siciliano. Gets it over to McPherson. Michigan putting it back deep is DeCreasy. DeCreasy has it back behind the goal, pulled away by Siciliano. State had it. Now that pulled back by Eliason. Good poke check to knock it away from Eliason. DeCreasy had it, but the puck wouldn't settle down. That lifted back into the neutral zone. Grabbing it, McCarthy. McCarthy feeds it ahead. Katie German over to Eliason. That knocked away by the Spartans as Siciliano ricochets it off of the near boards. That put back to the Michigan blue line. Evans has it in her own zone. Moves it over to McCarthy on the near circle. That puck loose in the high slot. Over to Eliason. Racing down the neutral zone on the far side. Eliason backhands it deep before she goes for a line change. Picked up by McPherson, back behind her own goal. She feeds it over. Anderson gets it into the neutral zone. Kolwich goes back. Michigan trying to get back on sides. A couple players ended up down on the ice trying to move over. McPherson has it. That pulled away. Here comes Rubin on the far circle. Rubin, backhanded shot. Van Solkoma with the save. That puck back to the far point, slips past. Levinson has it. Levinson back to her own blue line, feeds it down the far boards. Picked up by McPherson in the far circle. Knocked away by Rubin. McPherson gets it back to the far point, but held in by Michigan. Excellent job. Now that fired out, but that was Swanson holding it in. Zagrobelny has it into the far corner shot. And all the way back to the far point, trying to hold it in is Triolet back into the neutral zone. Bouncing puck off the near boards, gathered in by Zagrobelny. She moves it over to Dewar. Loose, Michigan intercepts. Here comes Swanson in the slot. That's sticked into the far corner by Van Solkoma. Here comes the Spartans. Zagrobelny at her own blue line, puts it down the far boards as Daniels puts it deep into the far corner. Levinson chases it, grabs it there from the far side to the near side, back behind her own goal. Levinson trying to move it over. That puck loose, held in by Dewar at the near point. That shot goes wide. Poneth makes sure it goes wide. Now comes back, held in at the near point by Rieger. Rieger puts it right back behind the Michigan goal. Levinson ahead to Eliason outside the near circle of her own zone. Eliason trying to get it out, held in by Santi, but here comes Michigan. Eliason gets it into the Spartan zone. Collected there by Leonard. Leonard starts the Spartan rush the other direction over to Mickelson, who gains the Michigan zone. Now back over to Flazar. Leonard has it top of the near circle. Saved by Poneth. Puck loose, and they put it in. Trying to see who that was. I believe it was Mickelson who put it in, and the Spartans have cut the lead. It is 2-1 now. Mickelson at the 10-minute mark cuts the Michigan lead in half. Face off right at center ice. Rubin in to take the face off. Schlee in on the other side. That puck comes in along the near boards. Forehand trying to feed it ahead. Now Proctor gains the zone. Proctor on the near circle with the shot. That deflected off of Novell. Van Solkoma able to cover it up. 2-1 the score. Michigan up on Michigan State. Penalty coming up as Novell goes into the box. Trying to get I think that was a tripping call, but not sure. That at 9:48. So right after the Spartans score, Novell for tripping, and Michigan has the first power play of the game. Face-off is going to be to Van Solkoma's left in the near face-off circle. So good job by the Spartans to answer back after Michigan had gone up 2-0. As they get a goal in, but then seconds later, they have to defend on the penalty kill. Swanson in to take the face-off. On the other side is Schlee. So roughing is the call, not tripping, but roughing. "12 seconds after the goal. Schlee versus Swanson in the near face-off circle. That to Van Solkoma's left. Good battle between these two teams, as it always is. Picked up by Rubin, deflected away, but back to Katie German at the near point. Gets it over to Rubin, outside the near circle, who puts it over to Eliason. Eliason trying to feed it out front. That knocked down, back behind. Now Siciliano with it into the far corner. That gathered in by Michigan. Back to Katie German at the near point, but that slips back into the neutral zone. Michigan will have to reset. Schlee providing pressure. Rubin spins with it, comes down the far boards over her own blue line. That gathered in by Evans. Evans outside the near circle. Evans drops it back to Katie German. Katie German back to Evans, top of the near circle. Evans with a shot. Pad save by Van Solkoma. Rubin has it outside the far circle, trying to battle Anderson. Rubin moves it back to the far point. Katie German with it there. High slot. Shot deflected out in front. That puck, Siciliano trying to get to it. Rubin back to Katie German at the near point. Katie German deflects it off of the near boards, as that's a shot by Swanson, as she had the first goal of the game and of the season, held in at the far point by Michigan. That puck goes right back behind. Simmer with it. Simmer into the far corner for Michigan. Now outside the far circle is Gargiulo. Gargiulo working it back to the far point, but nobody home, and that slips all the way back into the Michigan zone. Don't have the penalty minutes up on the board, so we'll just keep an eye and see when Novell comes in. Simmer trying to get to it. Dora trying to knock it out of the zone, and that cleared all the way down by Daniels into the Michigan zone. Ponitz stops it there. 8:09 left to go here in the first. It's 2-1 Michigan with the lead. They got out to a 2-0 lead, but the Spartans able to answer back and cut the lead in half. Here comes Simmer gaining the zone, top of the near circle. She takes a shot. That pad save into the far corner by Van Solkoma. Penalty just expiring as Novell comes back on to the ice, sent deep by Levinson. The puck loose on the far circle. So Spartans back to full strength. Levinson has it in the neutral zone. Levinson drifts back into her own zone. A pair of Spartans chasing her. Levinson takes it back behind her own goal, trying to get away from Santi. And puck in the slot. Here comes Michigan firing it. Intercepted at the blue line by Dewar. Dewar spins with it on the near circle of her own zone. Dewar trying to avoid a pair of Wolverines. Feeds it ahead to Mickelson. Mickelson with the score. Out in front, and they put it in. Mickelson gets it back and moves it over. And I believe that was Flazar who put it in. I might be wrong. Maybe that was Novell who ticked it in. But Mickelson set it up, and now it's 2-2. As after the penalty expired at 7:13, as we'll see if we get official, but I believe it was how they came out. Novell's second goal, that one, or excuse me, first goal was from Mickelson. Novell, right after coming out of the penalty box, scores the goal to tie it up at 2 apiece. 7:05 left to go. That puck coming down in along the far boards, picked up and sent ahead by Rieger up into the benches. 6:59 left to go here in the first. 2-2. Michigan and the Spartans tied up. Michigan got out to a 2-0 lead, But the Spartans didn't panic and now have tied that back up as Schlee taking the face-off versus Gargiulo. Schlee has it. Gargiulo knocking it away in along the far boards. DeCreasy trying to get to it. Schlee brings it into the Michigan zone. That puck into the near corner. Grabbed. Moving it over is Brodsky. Brodsky has it. Top of the far circle. Drop pass. And shot. Sticked into the near corner. Rieger's shot from the near point. That puck at the near point. And there is a penalty. Leonard held it in. It looks like a holding call. That at 6:32. That's going to be Schlee in the box. So Spartan penalty. For a holding, that will come back into the Spartan zone. So Michigan on their second power play of the game. Spartans have not had one as of yet. As Rabman in to take the face-off to the left of Van Solkema. As trying to grab that for the Wolverines into the near corner. That slips into the neutral zone. All the way back. Indeed, it was holding. That brought ahead. Here comes Michigan as fired by Rubin in along the far boards. Evans has it. Evans drops it back. There's a shot from the top of the circle into the near corner. The Spartans trying to grab it back to Katie German at the near point. Katie German comes high slot, moves it on the far circle for Rubin. Rubin shot, that was deflected in along the far boards as Siciliano gets it back into the neutral zone. Proctor has it coming down the near boards, gains the zone. Proctor outside the near circle for Michigan. Proctor going from the near side to the far side, back behind the goal. Proctor back to the far point, and moved over. Matthews over to Katie German, who backhands it into the near corner. Trying to pull that away for the Spartans is Novell battling now. Swanson has it. Swanson outside the near circle. Novell continuing to try and knock that away as a quartet battling. Here comes Katie German with a wrister. Ooh, glove save there, knocking it away by Van Solkema. There's a whistle as Novell went down back behind, and there looks like it's going to go from a 5-on-4 to a 4-on-4. As tripping called to Swanson. That at 5:22. So Michigan penalty to Swanson, tripping. As that will be a 50-second 4-on-4. Then the Spartans will have a minute, 10-second power play. Their first power play of the game. 2-2 here in the first. 5:22 left to go here in the first period. Mickelson in to take the face-off. That to Ponith's right pole, back behind the goal by Levinson. She feeds it out to the far point. Held in by McPherson. Shot that sticked away by Ponith, right back behind her own goal. Now coming down the near boards, here comes Michigan. Racing ahead is Gargiulo. Gargiulo retreats and moves it ahead to Levinson. Levinson moving it, trying to feed it over to Eliason. That puck loose. Levinson brings it in. Backhands it. And stopped by Van Solkema, and she'll cover it up. 4:55 left to go here in the first. 2-2 is the score between these two teams. Face-off will be to Van Solkema's left in the near face-off circle. Matthews in to take the face-off for Michigan. Simmer to her left. Levinson and Kolwich are the defenders. Lazar comes to take the face-off versus Matthews. As that puck, Dewar has it back behind her own goal. Dewar stops there, coming underneath the near circle, feeding ahead to McPherson. McPherson, and sent by Santi all the way back. On edge, right back behind. Van Solkema picked up there. Now McPherson gets it into the neutral zone. Gathered in, fed ahead by Michigan. Loose now, Simmer trying to get to it. Now sent ahead, Michigan rips it down into the Spartan zone. McPherson gets it ahead. And grabbed, and Kolwich feeds it ahead. Sent deep into the Michigan zone. 4:15 left to go. So it was Flazar on the goal for the Spartans' second goal. So want to make sure Flazar gets credit for that. Held in as it was set up by Mickelson. Leonard trying to take a shot in the high slot. That deflected away. Here comes Michigan down the far boards. Matthews with it. Gains his own. Matthews spins with it. Matthews outside the far circle into the far corner. Matthews holding it in along the boards as she goes down to the ice. Pulled back by Michigan. Outside the near circle it goes. Sent back deep by DeCreasy. Gathered in by Novell, who fires it into the neutral zone. Here comes Mickelson, who set up the last goal, feeding Flazar. Grabbing at Izzy German, back behind her own goal. In along the far boards comes Izzy German, stops trying to avoid pressure by McPherson. Izzy German over her own blue line. Izzy German comes over center ice as she ends up going down in a collision with Daniels as that puck loose out in front. Radman gets into the near corner with it. Radman trying to feed it out. That deflects off the near boards into the neutral zone. Pulled by Izzy German as she's trying to get it into the zone. Puts it outside the near circle. Picked up by Triolet for the Spartans, who goes back behind her own goal. Stops there, comes back to the near side underneath the near circle. Triolet bringing it ahead. That puck loose on the near circle. Trying to get to it was Goldman. Shot that loose and goes to the near side. The puck coming into the far corner, fed out. Michigan intercepts as forehand has it right at center ice. Forehand back over to Izzy German in along the far boards. Over to Proctor, but that puck wouldn't settle down. Now Michigan coming over as we should be back to full strength now. Coming over, Proctor has it. Puck loose again. We just don't have a clock with the penalties on it where I can see it. Katie German in along the far boards. Battling back as trying to pull that in is Santi. Santi pulls it back to the near point, holding it in for the Spartans. Coming back, Proctor tips it away from her. That goes into the far corner. McCarthy gathers it in, fires it ahead for Christensen. Christensen ricochets it off the glass and back into the neutral zone where Zagrobelny gets it over to Dewar. Off the near boards it goes. Michigan gains the zone. Christensen trying to move it into the slot, but pulled away by Mickelson going the other direction. Mickelson over her own blue line, over center ice. Mickelson gains the zone, but offsides. 1 minute, 39 seconds left to go here in this, the first period. 2-2 is the score between Michigan and Michigan State. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle outside the Michigan zone. As Eliason, looks like Arjulo in to take the face-off. On the other side is Schlee. Exciting period. Michigan gets out to a 2-0 lead. Spartans tie it up as Kolwich has it back behind her own goal. Over to DeCreasy, picked up by Eliason down the far boards of the neutral zone. Eliason with a shot from the top of the near circle, glove down by Van Solkema. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go here in the first period. All knotted up at 2 apiece. First game of the regular season for both of these squads. Michigan will be back in action tomorrow at 7 p.m. and it doesn't get any easier as they face Adrian. That puck into the far corner. Eliason gets it back to the far point as that's fired back deep by Kolwich. The puck loose on the slot, trying to get it to Creasy, pulled back away by the Spartans. McPherson has it. McPherson trying to get it out of the zone. Kolwich holds it in. That goes just wide to the near side. McPherson back behind her own goal as DeCreasy trying to separate her from the puck. 1 minute left to go in the first period. Kolwich holds it in at the near point, trying to put it back deep as that puck right back behind Van Solkema. Coming back into the neutral zone. Levinson chasing it. Levinson battling with Schlee. Levinson gets it over her own blue line down the far boards. Michigan racing as Novell has it at her own blue line. Now Rubin chases it back. Levinson backhands it deep, chasing it Evans into the near corner. That's picked up by Siciliano outside the near circle, pulling it back. That goes all the way down into the Michigan zone. 25 seconds left to go. Didn't make it over the goal line, so no icing. Pulled back the other direction. Michigan feeds it ahead to Evans. Evans all the way across to Rubin. Rubin gains the zone outside the far circle. Rubin stops there, rockets a shot. That's saved off the body by Van Solkema. That puck back to the far point. Izzy German holds it in there as gets a cross ice pass that was grabbed by Zagrobelny. Zagrobelny drops it as there's a shot. Bonnet with the save, and that is the end of the first. At the end of one, it is 2-2 between Michigan and Michigan State. Started off at 16:30 as Swanson, freshman, able to score and get her first goal for Michigan and the first goal of this season for Michigan. At 14:13, it was Goldman with a goal, putting Michigan up 2-0. Then coming back, it was Mickelson who put it in for the Spartans at 10 minutes even. Then there was a tripping call at the Novell at 9:48. Spartans able to kill that off. Then shortly thereafter, about 35 seconds after the penalty expired, it was a goal. Flazar being set up by Mickelson. That made it 2-2. There was a Spartan penalty at 6:35 as that was holding to Schlee. And then about 1 minute, 10 seconds into it, Michigan took a penalty. That one was to Swanson for tripping, and no scores off of those. Well, we do want to thank the host of this game, the Metro Junior Jets girls hockey team. We're very, very grateful, and the Metro Jets allowing us to be up on their press box here. And we do want to thank all of their sponsors. Please support those who support women's hockey and hockey in general, as the sponsors are Bison Plumbing, Moran Automotive Group, Mount Clemens Chiropractic, Craig A. Dobeck, Maud Lexus, BNR Sports, Perennies Hockey World, Girl Power Athletics, Victory Motors, CrossFit Platoon, Michigan Athletic Training, The Mat, T2 High Performance Training, Close with Christine Realtor, Just Tease In, an Eye for You Photography, The Great Frame Up, Metro Jet Swag Sales, Hockey Stands United, and Gecko Sourcing. Are you buying or selling a home? Look no further than Jamie at Regions Title to close your transaction. With over 30 years of experience, Regions Title is one of the top title insurance companies in the business. They cover the entire states of Florida and Michigan. With a on-staff attorney and professional staff, you can be sure that your closing will be a very smooth transaction. All you have to do is tell your realtor or mortgage broker you want to close with Regions Title and let them handle the rest. Call Jamie Naiman or give Jamie Naiman a call at 248-388-9376 for more information, or email Jamie at regionstitleagency.com. As a number of the Jets, the Metro Junior Jets girls hockey team coming out onto the ice and having a halftime or a first intermission celebration there. What we're going to do is we're going to step away, play a few messages from the, or actually we'll play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and we will be right back with your second period action.
afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome, from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
We are live at Mount Clemens Ice Arena, home of the Metro Jets. In this game, it's hosted by the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club. Now, we want to thank, there was a couple of people who sent us messages on the last game. Greg sent us a fantastic message thanking us, and we are so grateful for you watching, as well as Jeff sent us a very kind message during the Bell Tire scrimmage, and we are exceedingly grateful for those. We did get another message during this game from a someone, but I didn't see a message. So if you need something from us, again, I try and call the game and check the emails, and I'm not very successful, but I try my darndest. But you can reach out to us at arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com, or you can click on the send message button on the Arbor Broadcasting website. It is 2-2 here at the first intermission. As about a minute left, Michigan got out to the early 2-0 lead. Then the Spartans able to come back with a goal at 7:13 and a goal at 6:30, or no, at 7:13 and 10 minutes and 7:13. I can read my own notes, I swear. So first goal at 10 minutes was by Mickelson for the Spartans. Then at 7:13 it was Flazar. Michigan opened the scoring at 16:30 as that was Swanson with the first goal of the season and her first goal. And then Goldman chipped one in at 14:13. As we are counting down here, ready to get the second period going. As both squads breaking apart from the bench, Ponith skating down to our right, Michigan going from right to left in the second period. We'll go over the next games for Michigan State at the next intermission. I have that pulled up on my tablet, but we'll talk about that. And we know, again, Michigan's playing Adrian tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Arrington Ice Arena. Then they're up at Lake State for a pair of games Saturday and Sunday. In along the near boards, Levinson feeds it ahead. That puck loose, grabbing it right in front of the penalty boxes. Mickelson in there trying to get it away. So is Swanson. Bringing it is Daniels at her own blue line. The puck in along the far boards. Daniels feeds it ahead into the Michigan zone as it goes right back behind Ponith. Picked up by Kolwich underneath her near circle. Kolwich fires it all the way down the ice. And stopped as, boy, that died right in front of the crease. Saved by Van Solkema. Swanson has it outside the far circle, trying to get that puck over. Simmer takes it in along the end boards. Poked away from Simmer. That puck loose in the slot as it just, there's one spot where it dies right in front. It comes all the way back to the near point. In along the near boards, here comes Levinson with it. Levinson at her own blue line. Feeds it in along the far boards. That deflects back. Chasing it, Novell. Goes back behind her own goal. Novell underneath the far circle. Trying to pull that away is Eliason outside. Eliason feeds it back to the near point for Izzy German with a shot. That goes into the far corner. Eliason has it outside the far circle. Feeds it into the near corner. Picking it up there is Novell. Novell ahead to Leonard. Leonard tips it right at her own blue line. Going over to the far side is Rabman. Rabman coming down the far boards and knocked away. Grabbing it, Novell again, feeding it all the way down. Picked up by forehand, right at her own blue line. That loose on the right in the neutral zone. DeCreasy trying to get it. Now spinning with it is Gargiulo. Gargiulo changes directions, ricochets it ahead to DeCreasy. DeCreasy gains the zone. On the near circle, firing it over to Lindahl. That knocked away into the near corner. Rabman feeds it into the far corner. Lindahl has it outside the near circle. Lindahl coming into the high slot. Now onto the near circle. Lindahl with it. Lindahl with a centering attempt. That wouldn't settle down for Evans. Picked up, shot, saved by Van Solkema. The puck in along the end boards into the near corner as Lindahl feeds it out in front. Evans couldn't get the puck to settle down. Now coming the other direction is Zagrobelny. Zagrobelny feeds it deep into the Michigan zone. We're all knotted up at 2 apiece. 17:44 left to go here in the second period. Forehand pulls the puck away in along the near boards, gets it ahead to Evans. The puck in along the near boards. Mickelson trying to peel it away. That knocked back over to Flazar. Puck loose in the high slot. Lindahl trying to get to it. Knocked away. Flazar feeds it down the far boards. Gathered in. Here comes Michigan pulling it in as forehand. On the far circle, she has it knocked away. Pulling away with it is Evans, but a whistle. Roughing the call. As we're going to see who goes into the box. Looks like it's Evans going into the box. So Spartans will have their second power play. First one was about 1 minute 10 seconds. So Michigan penalty to Evans for roughing. that at 17-17. So Spartans will look to try and take the lead on the power play. Michigan gears themselves up for a huge penalty kill. As Schlee has it into the far corner. Outside the far circle it goes. As Rieger sends it back. Underneath the far circle shot. Bonnet knocks it away. That puck shot again. Bonnet steers it into the far corner. Schlee has it outside the far circle. Schlee drop pass over to Rieger into the far corner. Trying to pull it around. Moving it over the far side. Flazar gets it over to McPherson for a one-timer. And it gets put in as right out in front. Shot by McPherson on the near side. And then that put in by Schlee. And the Spartans have the lead 3-2. Is able to deflect it. Poneth didn't have an opportunity to try and adjust to that as it was deflected right out in front. And the Spartans have their first lead of the game. As that will, the penalty will then expire. And sent ahead. Here comes Molashevsky. Molashevsky, top of the far circle. She puts it back behind the goal. Goldman trying to get it back. The puck loose on the far circle, but a whistle and a penalty, tripping call. As that's going to be Dewar going into the box for tripping. Michigan will have a power play. At 16:39 as Dewar in for tripping. Face-off is to Van Solkema's left. The puck in along the far boards, rocketed, cleared all the way down by the Spartans. Ponnet stops it, and she'll cover it up as Menzer was crashing down on the crease. One minute, 51 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. Swanson in to take the face-off for Michigan. That's going to be Daniels for the Spartans. That puck on the far circle, trying to poke things away. Coming in along the far boards. Here comes Katie German over center ice. Katie German gains his own. Katie German, top of the far circle, now moves it back to the far point. There's a rocket blast, and that covered up. Van Solkema grabs it. 1 minute, 35 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Face-off will be to Van Solkema's left in the far face-off circle. Swanson in to take the face-off. Daniels on the other side. And puck battling for it as the Wolverine Trooper in the house cheering on the team. That puck loose on the far circle, saved by Van Solkema into the far corner. Lifted all the way down the ice, cleared into the near corner. 1 minute, 18 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Rubin trying to pull it away as Menzer battling in the near corner. Here comes Michigan. Katie German feeds it ahead to Eliason. That's sent right back by Zagrobelny. The puck off on the near boards. Coming ahead with it, Katie German right at center ice. Katie German gains his own in the slot. That puck loose. Matthews trying to grab it in along the near boards. Battling with it. Gargiulo trying to pull it off of the boards into the near corner. McPherson digging at it, trying to pull it away. That comes loose. Now top of the near circle. Here comes Simmer in the high slot. Shot saved by Van Solkema into the far corner. Trying to pull it away. Michigan with it. Coming back behind. Feeding it out in front. At puck loose all the way back as that was Cevallos with it in the far corner. Now loose on the far circle, coming into Creasy trying to get to it. That popped away and the puck comes all the way back. Ponif has it. Steers it over into the near corner. 15 seconds left to go. Coming in the power play, coming ahead with it is Matthews. Matthews gains his own. Top of the near circle, drop pass. Coming over, there's a shot that goes just wide. Matthews on the far side of the circle puts it into the far corner. Leonard pulls it away, and the Spartans are back to full strength. Levinson trying to feed it ahead as coming back. Here comes Flazar with the breakaway. Knocked away as Levinson goes the other direction. The Spartans have the lead 3-2 Michigan got out to an early lead 2-0, but the Spartans 2 goals to close out the first period and opened up the scoring in the second, and they have the 1-goal lead. Spinning with it is Rubin and along the far boards. Rubin gains his own top of the far circle. Rubin with a shot, saved by Van Solkum out in front. Oh, wouldn't settle down for Evans as Evans tried to get a stick on the puck, and it popped right past. In along the near boards, over to Izzy German at the near point. Izzy German comes in to the near circle. Shot that deflects out in front. Flazar into the far corner of her own zone. Flazar takes it, coming down the slot. Flazar into the neutral zone over center ice. Flazar gains his own. She had the game-tying goal for the Spartans. Into the far corner it goes. Rubin feeds it ahead. That knocked off of the near boards, intercepted and fired back by Triolet. Izzy German goes back behind her own goal, picks it up underneath the far circle, getting it over to forehand. Puck loose. Ponith moves it over outside the near circle, picked up by Brodsky. Brodsky in the near corner. And trying to move it back to Triolet. Michigan feeds it out into the neutral zone as that was Evans, pulled back by Izzy German. Izzy German over her own blue line, over center ice. Izzy German banks it off the far boards. That goes back in along the end boards. McPherson has it there. Outside the far circle, the Spartans have it. Feeding it ahead to Schlee. Schlee over center ice. Schlee on the far circle. Schlee goes into the far corner of the Michigan zone. That puck in along the end boards. Gathered in there by Anderson. Anderson into the near corner. She sweeps it across the boards outside the far circle for Rieger. There's a shot from the top of the far circle. Poneth able to cover it up. 12:41 left to go here in the second. 3-2. Spartans with the lead over the Wolverines. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. Mickelson on the other side. That is to the right of Poneth. Into the far corner. McCarthy sweeps it around the boards. Ahead to DeCrezi. And loose in the neutral zone. Rieger has it, trying to move it the other direction. And fired ahead by Katie German in along the end boards. Gathering it up is Dewar. Dewar back behind her own goal. Comes to the far side. Outside of the far circle. Gargiulo trying to pull that away as a quartet of players dig on those boards. Shot stopped right out in front by Rieger, who goes back behind her own goal. Rieger now goes from the far side to the near side. Tried to avoid pressure from Eliason. Gets it over to Menzer. Menzer pinned against the boards. That puck loose. Coming into Creasy. That shot and a fire and a goal. And Michigan ties it up. And I believe that was DeCrezi who put it in. And it is 3-3 at 11:59. As I believe that was DeCrezi, we will see. 3-3, fantastic game back and forth between these two high-quality CCWHA clubs. Olszewski wins it back over to Proctor. Proctor coming down the far boards over the neutral zone. Proctor outside the far circle. Indeed, it was DeCrezi who put it in. As I believe that was Izzy German on the assist. Coming down the far side, the Spartans bring it in. Zagrobelny puts it right back in along the end boards. Leonard has it in the near corner of the Michigan zone. Rabman trying to pull it away, but Malashevsky pokes it. As that puck loose on the near boards, Christensen trying to come away with it. She's pinned against the boards, digging against a pair of Spartans. Now trying to grab that is Malashevsky. Levinson comes away with it. Levinson battling with Leonard. Levinson pinned against the near boards. That puck rolls on edge, back behind the Michigan goal, into the far corner. Here comes Proctor. Proctor knocks it up and along the glass, fired right back behind the Michigan goal into the near corner. Gathered up there by Levinson. Levinson coming up the near board. Levinson, her pass intercepted by Santi. Pulled back. Michigan gathers it in. Back behind the goal. Offsides the call. As delayed offsides, Michigan State didn't realize it and didn't touch up. Or is that a high stick? That's going to go all the way back into the Spartan zone. 3-3 is our score. 10:49 left to go here in the second. Face-off is to Van Solkema's left in the far face-off circle. Right through the low slot, gathered in, coming ahead with it is Santi. Now intercepted by Lindahl. Lindahl for Michigan in along the far boards. Flazar trying to tip that. Novell had it, and then I think that went up and hit a person on the bench. They'll drop it in the far face-off circle right outside of the Spartan zone. 10:37 left to go here in the second. 3-3 is our score. Izzy German brings it ahead, fires it deep. That stopped by Van Solkema and covered up. They'll drop the puck again. This time it's going to be in the near face-off circle. That to Van Solkema's right. 10:30 left to go here in the second. 2 goals apiece in the first, 1 goal apiece in the second. Flazar versus Matthews in the face-off circle. Trying to pull that back away is Swanson. Swanson rolls it on edge into the far corner. Novell rockets it down the far boards. Puck wouldn't settle down for Mickelson, but gets it ahead to Santi. Santi dumps it deep into the Michigan zone. Back behind Poneth, forehand trying to grab it, battling Flazar in along the end boards. Matthews comes in, trying to poke that away, coming away with it. There's a shot by Santi, covered up by Poneth. Everyone was digging away at it, and Santi sneakily came out the far side and took a shot. Poneth saw it all the way. 10:03 left to go here in the second. Epic battle between these two rivals, and isn't it always? Schleien taking the face-off versus Gargiulo. Gargiulo wins it into the far corner. McCarthy puts it right back behind the Michigan goal. Picked up by DeCreasy into the near corner. DeCreasy is the one that tied it up. And out in front, knocked away in along the near boards. Dewar trying to get to it, loses an edge shot. Poneth steers it into the far corner. McCarthy chasing it and pulled back. Coming over with it is Brodsky. Brodsky gets it back into the far corner. McCarthy battling back, trying to get it away from Schlee, now pulling it around. Here comes Gargiulo, ahead to DeCreasy. DeCreasy gets it over on blue line, trying to get ahead to Eliason. That puck knocked away. DeCreasy crashing down, but that gathered in. Dewar rockets the other direction, gaining the Michigan zone. Dewar drop pass for Schlee. That save by Poneth. 9:15 left to go here in the second. 3-3 is the score. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle in the Michigan zone. Mickelson in to take the face-off for the Spartans. That's Evans for the Wolverines, or excuse me, Rubin for the Wolverines. That puck ricocheted off the end boards, trying to feed it ahead is Lindahl. Here comes Evans over the neutral zone, gains the zone in along the far boards. Evans pinned against the boards by Dewar. That puck loose, top of the far circle. Racing the other direction is Manzer. Manzer makes a player miss, gains his own. Manzer in the slot, that puck in along the end boards. Manzer trying to fire it out in front. All the way back outside the far circle. As that for Siciliano. Siciliano trying to keep it in, but that puck back into the Spartan zone. McPherson feeds it ahead. That tip down, gathered right at the Michigan blue line. Levinson gets it ahead. Coming in with it is Rubin. Rubin has it knocked away. Michigan has to touch back up to avoid a delayed offsides. That puck sent down. That will be icing and head back all the way into the Michigan zone. 8:24 left to go here in the second. 3-3 is our score. Epic battle between these two squads. As said earlier, the Wolverine Stormtrooper in attendance supporting the ladies team. We love to see that and appreciate that greatly. Face off in the far face-off circle. Brought back, the puck loose. Michigan has it into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Simmer. That knockdown coming the other direction. Here comes Leonard. Leonard outside the near circle of the Michigan zone, trying to feed it out in front. Radman with the shot as that knocked away. Zagrabelny had a good chance at it on the far side of the crease. Held in at the far point by the Spartans. Simmer trying to dig away at it. Radman in there trying to knock it away. Matthews trying to peel it. That all the way back into the far corner. Kolwich back behind her own goal, battling with Leonard in along the end boards. Radman comes in there as well. Here comes Matthews down the far boards, feeds it ahead for Simmer. Simmer over on blue line. Simmer over center ice, gains the zone. Simmer has a pair of Spartans patrolling that piece of the ice. That comes back outside the near circle. Racing ahead, Trialek feeds it all the way back into the Michigan zone. Forehand, tries to start the Michigan rush, but that intercepted. Brought back in, coming in along the far boards, as that's Novell, knocked away. Here comes Levinson, but held in by Flazar. Flazar on the far circle, trying to escape past. Forehand, got in the way and knocked that puck away. That puck loose. Eliason has it on the near circle of her own zone. Eliason ricochets it off the far boards as Michigan diving over, trying to avoid a bench penalty for too many players on the ice. Legitimately, the player tried to dive onto the bench, and I think it still caught her skate. Valiant attempt by Matthews, but Michigan will have to go on the penalty kill. That at 7:02. Matthews tried to play a superhero leap into the bench, and the puck still able to catch her skate. So Michigan shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Spartans on the power play. That puck comes right back behind Poneth. Gathered in, is coming ahead with it. Forehand, knocks it off the near boards. That skitters all the way back into the neutral zone. Fired ahead by Manzer outside the far circle. That comes right back behind the Michigan goal. Izzy German trying to knock that away. The puck out in front, loose, and still battling in the low slot. Now that's swiped back to the blue line. Novell with a one-timer. That was blocked. That comes back outside the near circle for Leonard. Leonard gets it back over to Manzer. Manzer with a shot. That got blocked out in front outside the far circle. Izzy German trying to pull that puck away. That slips in along the end boards of the Michigan zone. Forehand has it there. Forehand battling Anderson. Now that wiped all the way around the boards, picking it up Novell outside the near circle. Trying to grab it is Izzy German. Izzy German trying to move that puck along the boards. Now Michigan digging, battling outside the near circle. Still trying to shovel that away. Loose, comes out, top of the near circle. Now here comes Gargiulo in a foot race. Gargiulo has that puck poked away. Good poke check by Leonard. Gargiulo trying to fire it deep, but Leonard stops it, makes a move over to Novell, who gets it to Schlee in the Michigan zone. Schlee gets past, forehand skate as that comes into the near corner. Pulled back. Here comes Rodsky, or excuse me, that's Flazar putting it back, but a whistle. There's 32 seconds left to go in the Michigan penalty kill. Tripping the call, as it looks like Michigan is going to have two players in the box as Katie German goes in on a tripping call, so that will be 32 seconds of 5-on-3. And at 5:35, so Michigan has their work cut out for them, as the Spartans have two extra attackers for 32 seconds. Then they will have the remainder, 1 minute 28 seconds, if I can do some basic math, of a 5-on-4. Face-off to Poneth's right in the far face-off circle. And back, moved over on the near side. McPherson puts it into the far corner. Outside the far circle, Flazar gets it back to the near point, over to McPherson. McPherson, top of the near circle. Poneth with the save. 19 seconds left of 5-on-3 hockey for the Spartans. That face-off is going to come back into the near face-off circle. That to Poneth's left. Schlee in to take the face-off. Simmer on the other side. Huge face-off win for the Wolverines. Got caught in linesman's skate into the near corner. McCarthy chasing it. That gathered in as Siciliano with a shot sticked into the far corner by Poneth. Trying to grab it, Levinson. That knocked back into the far corner by Rieger. Now a shot by Flazar, knocking out in front. That puck comes all the way back. Holding it in is McPherson. Now it's a 5-on-4, and Poneth covers it up. Michigan able to kill off the first part of the 5-on-3. They are now shorthanded. It says 1 minute 55 seconds. That shouldn't be right. That should be 1 minute and 28 seconds originally, but we'll see what happens. So some Michigan player gets to come out of the box on time. That they got it taken care of down below. Daniels in to take the face-off for Michigan. I think they might be getting that fixed up. Trying to see, I believe that's Swanson in to take the face-off for Michigan. The official talking to the scorers, trying to, I think, get that taken care of. Is what happened is the original power play ended, and then they put 2 minutes back up on the board, and so you can smell some fantastic popcorn smell in here. Lots of great treats around. If you're headed towards the rink, make sure you grab a snack when you're coming in. As looks like the officials know the time on the rink, so that's fine. Pulling it back, Izzy German has it back behind her own goal. Michigan trying to kill off a huge penalty here as brought back. Manzer puts it in along the near boards. Novell rockets it across the rink, trying to get it over to Leonard. That puck loose. Anderson brings it in for the Spartans at the far point. Brought back in along the end boards. Forehand has it back behind her own goal. Going from the far side to the near side. The puck loose. Leonard has it back behind the Michigan goal. Comes over underneath the far circle. The puck loose on the far circle. Leonard collects it back to the far point. Manzer has it there. Shot, punted, somehow able to see it through traffic and grab onto it. As we should have about 50 seconds left on that power play. Don't quote me. Face off in the far face-off circle, knotted up at 3 apiece with 4:22 left to go here in the second. 2 goals apiece in the first. Spartans scored first in the second. Michigan tied it up. DeCreasy's first goal is a Wolverine. That puck outside the far circle. Rieger digging at it, trying to come back. The puck into the far corner. Now grabbing it is Kolwich. Grabbed away by the Spartans as that's pulled back in along the near boards. Flazar has it back to the near point. Flazar outside the near circle. Flazar into the near corner. That goes back. Siciliano trying to put it out in front guard. Julo backhands it all the way back deep as the puck skitters into the Spartan zone. Gathered by McPherson there. She goes back behind her own goal from the far side to the near side. Mere seconds away from the expiration of the 5-on-4. Bringing it in, Siciliano with the shot. That knocked away. And Michigan back to full strength, able to kill off 30-second 5-on-3, and then the remainder 5-on-4. Michigan has it back behind their own goal. Flazar chasing it, trying to get to it. That knocked away. Here comes DeCreasy, who tied up the game into the zone. DeCreasy outside the near circle. DeCreasy on the near circle. Shot. Gets her own rebound. Backhands it. That goes wide. Lindahl trying to grab it. Now Kolwich in the far corner. And that will be a whistle. Looks like the Michigan is going to go back in the penalty box on a hooking call. Or no, is it going to be the Spartans? Looks like Siciliano goes into the box for a hooking call, and Michigan will have a power play. That at 3:06. As that will go. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Back to the far point. Katie German has it, trying to feed it ahead. The puck outside the far circle. Evans with it. Evans puts it out. High slot for Katie German. Back to Evans at the far point. Evans cycles it down into the far corner for Swanson. Swanson moves it back outside the far circle for Evans. Evans back to the blue line to Katie German. Katie German shot. That deflects high up into the netting. .240 left to go here in the second. 3-3 is the score. 1 minute 34 seconds left to go on the Michigan power play. Swanson battling in the near circle with Radman. Pulled back. Michigan has it outside the far circle. Trying to get it over to Rubin. Knocked away, but held in at the near point by Katie German. Loose. Trying to fire it out in front. as Evans has it outside the near circle. Evans goes high slot. Evans coming down the slot, backhanded shot. That got blocker saved by Van Solkema. High slot for KD German, puts it on the far circle. Another backhanded shot just goes wide. With it, Proctor. Proctor feeds it underneath the far circle to Swanson. Swanson on the near side. Swanson gets it back to KD German, high slot with a shot. That off, back in along the near boards. 49 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Tied up at 3 apiece. 1 minute 50 seconds left to go in the second. Evans underneath the near circle. Evans gets it back to KD German over onto the far circle with a shot out in front. Cleared away by the Spartans as they get it back into the neutral zone. 30 seconds left to go on the Michigan power play. KD German trying to get it into the zone. Top of the near circle, now into the near corner. KD German comes back on that near circle, trying to feed it all the way back. Matthews chasing it. Now DeCreasy trying to put it in deep. 14 seconds left on the Michigan power play. All the way back into the Michigan zone. Spartans able to clear it. Matthews back behind her own goal. Comes along the near far side of the boards. Gets it over and along the near boards for Levinson. Picked up. Gargiulo has it. Gargiulo trying to avoid pressure by Manzer. Now DeCreasy back into our own zone. DeCreasy banks it in along the far boards for Simmer. The puck loose right at the center line. Now coming back. Here comes Michigan, gaining the Spartan zone. Trying to pull that away was Eliasson. Spartans have it back. Racing down the other way is Manzer, gaining the zone on the far circle. Manzer loses an edge. That puck back behind the Michigan goal. Trying to dig away at it is a trio of players. Spartans come away with it as Daniels gets it outside to Dewar. Saved by Poneth. Spartans are back to full strength. 28.5 seconds left to go here in the second. 3-3 is our score. You expect nothing less than an epic battle between these two fantastic hockey teams. ACHA hockey, CCWHA hockey at its best. Mickelson in to take the face-off for the Spartans. Into the near corner it goes. Malashevsky chasing it. Now Forehand has it in the far corner. Forehand trying to get it out to Proctor. That puck loose and held in. Intercepting it. Manzer with a shot blocker save by Poneth. Outside the far circle, Malashevsky gets it back to Forehand. Forehand trying to feed it. That deflected all the way back into the Spartan zone. 5 seconds left to play. Spartans have it back in along their own zone. And that will do it for the second period. At the end of 2, it is 3-3. Spartans and Wolverines all knotted up. Action in the second. It was a Michigan penalty at 17-17, roughing to Evans. Then it was a Spartan goal at 16:52 as that goal was Schlee scoring, set up by McPherson. Then it was a Spartan penalty at 16:39 as it was Dewar going in for tripping. Michigan had a goal at 11:59 as that was DeCreasy putting in her first goal as the Wolverine. Then it was a Michigan penalty that at 7:02 for too many men on the ice. Matthews trying to dive out of the way, but the puck just caught her skate. Then Michigan took another penalty, that at 5:35 as Katie German went off for tripping. They were able to kill that off. Spartans took a penalty, that at 3:06 as that was Siciliano going off for a hook. And that is your third period action. Let's talk about just a couple things out there. We talked about how Michigan has the game tomorrow versus Adrian at Adrian at 7 p.m. at Arrington Ice Arena. Come out, cheer on the Maize in Blue, and then they will be at Lake Superior State the next weekend for a pair of games, 7 o'clock on Saturday at Lake State, and then noon on Sunday. But let me pull up the Spartans' schedule as this is their only game of the weekend. Then Friday, October 7th, they will be hosting Colorado State University, but that's not at Munn. That's going to be at the Suburban Ice Arena in East Lansing. That will be a 6:20 start. Then they travel out on October 14th and 15th to University of Massachusetts Amherst. We ended up there our first season covering Michigan for a a round robin set of games. So the game on October 14th, that'll be at the Mullins Center. That will be at 6:20, and then the game on October 15th will be at 11:20 a.m. Then looking their fifth game out, they will go to Davenport University on October 28th. That will be at the Patterson Ice Arena, a 7 p.m. game. So if you want to check out the Spartans or the Wolverines, certainly go and support these amazing hockey teams. Now it is time for our Michigan scoreboard report. Had a game Thursday, so taking a look at action on Friday. Men's tennis and women's tennis were in a non-scoring event at the Spartan Invitational. Men's cross country took 8 out of 21 at the Joe Payne Notre Dame Invitational, and softball won 14-0 in 6 innings versus Toledo in an exhibition. Let's see if we can refresh this and get a few scores from today. There we go. And today, again, Spartan Invitational for men's tennis and women's tennis, so they're up at East Lansing. In football, I was recording the game, but I'll watch it when I come back. In football, Michigan wins versus Iowa 27-14. In baseball, it is a exhibition versus Xavier in Ann Arbor. That started at noon, but no score reported. Softball has a exhibition game versus Central Michigan at 1 o'clock in Ann Arbor. Ice hockey, the men's team in action tonight at 7 p.m. That is a exhibition game versus Windsor. Same team that Michigan women were going to try and play, but couldn't make it, so they played Belle Tire instead. That will be at Yost Ice Arena. That is a 7 p.m. game. If you can't make it, obviously it'll be on the Big Ten Plus as well as on the radio network with Al Randall on the call. He does a fantastic job. Volleyball, 7 p.m. tonight at Northwestern in Evanston. That will be on the Big Ten Plus, 7 p.m. Central Time. That is your Michigan scoreboard report. Here at the second intermission, it is Michigan 3, the Spartans 3. We want to thank the host of this game, the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey Club. Thank you so much, and the Metro Jets letting us use their press box so you don't have to stare through any netting, and we have just an outstanding internet connection. So we want to thank them by thanking their sponsors. Please support those folks who support hockey in this area. That includes sponsors of the Metro Junior Jets Girls Hockey includes Bison's Plumbing, Moran Automotive Group, Mount Clemens Chiropractic, Craig A. Dubeck, Maud Lexus, BNR Sports, Piranhas Hockey World, Girl Power Athletics, Victory Motors CrossFit Platoon, Michigan Athletic Training, The Match, which is right behind us, by the way, and pretty cool as all the Jets players getting warmed up back there. T2 High Performance Training, Close with Christine Realtor, Just Tease In, an Eye for You Photography, The Great Frame Up, Metro Jets Swag Sales, Hockey Stands United, and Gecko's Sourcing. Are you buying or selling a home? Look no further than Jamie at Regions Title to close your transaction. With over 30 years of experience, Regions Title is one of the top title insurance companies in the business. They cover the entire states of Michigan and Florida. With a on-staff attorney and professional staff, you can be sure that your closing will be a very smooth transaction. All you have to do is tell your realtor or mortgage broker that you want to close with Regions Title and let them handle the rest. Give Jamie Neiman a call at 248-388-9376 for more information, or email at jamie@regionstitleagency.com. Let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and it is the second intermission, so you know what time it is. It's time for I Can't Turn You Loose.
afternoon, and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome, from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
about 43 seconds left to go as the Metro Jets have a game right after starting at 5:30. That will be on Hockey TV. If you can't make it, if you're in the area, come on down. Watch the Jets take on, not sure who their opponent is, but should be a great game. This game is hosted by the Metro Junior Jets girls hockey team. Couldn't be more grateful. This has been a fantastic time, fantastic game. Looking back at the scoring in the first, I thought it was Mickelson scoring the first goal. There seems to be some debates as some people thought it was Santi. I'm not going to say that my eyes are better than anyone else, and I'm not sure if I heard the goal announcement. What I have is 2 goals in the first for Michigan. They got out as Swanson, and then Goldman scored. Then State came back as I have Mickelson and then Flazar scoring, and then 2 goals in the second. 1 by Schlee, and then for Michigan, 1 by DeCreasy. That coming back. Here comes the Spartans down on the far side. Manzer with the shot. Poneth with the save. That puck coming in along the near boards, trying to get to it is Gargiulo battling in there with Novell, a trio of players. Now Gargiulo comes away with it. Michigan skating from left to right here in the third. Gargiulo comes into the slot, poked away. Good poke defensive check by the Spartans, trying to get to it. Eliason comes away with it. She can't get a shot as that was knocked away back into the neutral zone. Michigan waits to touch up, then they fire it back deep, gathered in by Daniels in along the near boards. Poked away by forehand into the near corner. She is poked away by Rubin into the near corner. Triolet has it back behind her own goal. Triolet feeds it onto the near circle. Michigan trying to get to it. Rubin in the slot. That pulled away by Novell off of the far boards. 3-3 is our score. 9:04 left to go here in the third as a huge battle between the Spartans and the Wolverines as Evans trying to get to it in the high slot. Spartans get it back into the neutral zone. The puck swept in along the far boards. Rubin backhands it deep into the far corner. Thank you for whoever you are cheering for, Michigan or the Spartans, or just you love hockey. Thank you for tuning in and supporting these teams. We are so grateful. The puck coming in, out into the slot, poked away. Good job by Leonard to get it out of harm's way. The puck back into the neutral zone. Gathered in by Katie German, who gains his own and offsides as Simmer was racing to get out of the zone, but couldn't quite get that skate on the other side of the blue line. Face-off in the far face-off circle. 18:29 left to go here in the third. 3-3 is the score. 2 goals apiece in the first, 1 goal apiece in the second. Matthews in to take the face-off versus Rabin. And all the way back into the Spartan zone as Van Solkema puts it right back behind her own goal. Coming ahead, Siciliano has it back behind her own goal, sweeps it into the far corner. McPherson sends it along the far boards, gathered in. Zagrobelny has it, gaining the Michigan zone. Zagrobelny on the far circle, or on the near circle with the shot. That ricochets outside the far circle, back to the far point. Shot just goes wide, covered up by Poneth. 18:05 left to go here in the third. All knotted up at 3 apiece. Both teams get a line change. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Mickelson in to take the face-off. Gargiulo on the other side. That's Poneth's left. And puck loose. Drop back to the far point. Shot deep into the near corner. Racing to get it. That's forehand. Held in by Siciliano at the near point. Shot. That deflects off of a skate. Picked up by DeCreasy. Coming down over her own blue line. DeCreasy over the neutral zone. Over to Eliason. Eliason chases it into the near corner. Siciliano swept it that way. Centering attempt. That goes all the way through. Back to the far point. Held in by Katie German. Trying to get it over to Gargiulo outside the far circle. That puck gathered in. McPherson trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by Katie German. Loose, coming over, shot by Gargiulo and covered up by Van Solkema. 17:26 left to go here in the third. All knotted up at 3 apiece. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Back to Van Solkema's right. Rubin in to take the face-off for Michigan. Schlee, who scored the goal in the second for the Spartans on the other side. Siciliano quickly skates off the ice, and that pulled back to the far point. Into the near corner it goes. Ruben picks it up right back behind the Spartan goal. Sends it back out to the far point. Izzy German trying to get to it. That knocked back out all the way down. Racing to get it as that lifted back into the neutral zone. Anderson fires it back into the Michigan zone, coming the other direction. Katie German ricochets it off the near boards. Trying to get to it is Proctor, battling along the near boards. Now Schlee trying to get that. That knocked away right at the blue line, trying to get to it. As there's Rubin, now fired all the way around by McCarthy into the far corner. Katie German ahead to Evans. Now here comes Proctor down the far boards. Proctor gains his own. Proctor, top of the far circle with a shot and a save by Van Solkema. It's a nice fist bump from Schlee and Dewar, as well as Brodsky. Face off is to Van Solkema's right in the far face off circle. 16:40 left to go here in the third period. Knotted up at 3 apiece as Daniels gets it. That back is shot by Levinson. Bouncing puck, top of the near circle, in along the near boards. Trying to bring it in is Levinson. Now Simmer has that poked away by the Spartans. Mickelson racing the other direction. Mickelson gains his own. Good poke check by Michigan. Loose as that was Kolwich with the poke check. Now Swanson moves it in along the near boards. Novell, the captain, brings it in for the Spartans, but knocked away by Simmer. Matthews drops it back. And now that fired ahead, Michigan right at center ice. Here comes Matthews, top of the far circle. Matthews underneath the far circle, wide angle shot that comes all the way back in along the near boards. Daniels feeds it ahead. Coming in is Manzer. Manzer in the high slot, shot sticked away into the near corner by Poneth. Centering attempt knocked down by Simmer. Simmer heads the other direction. Simmer over the blue line. Simmer gains the zone, firing it deep into the near corner. McPherson gathers it up and along the end boards. McPherson on the near circle of her own zone. Now fires it ahead. Knocked down by Katie German. Picked up. Here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy on the far circle. DeCreasy into the far corner. DeCreasy tied it up for Michigan at 3 apiece. That puck lifted back to the blue line. Trying to hold it in is Katie German. Good job grabbing a bouncing puck, but that knocked ahead by Siciliano. Picked up Michigan on the far circle. Eliason trying to redirect that shot, but wouldn't settle down for her. He's battling McPherson. Now coming in with it. Here comes Levinson with a shot as she was bodied off the puck. That brought back. Coming in with it, Evans trying to throw it out in front. That knocked down. Siciliano ricochets it off the near boards. Here comes Zagrobelny into the zone. Zagrobelny right at the blue line, trying to knock it down. Leonard moves it back to her own blue line, and McPherson feeds it ahead. Mickelson has it knocked away by Rubin coming down the far boards. Rubin feeds it in along the near boards outside the near circle. Trying to pick it up is Proctor. That back, gathering it in. Rubin battling Mickelson. And out in front, trying to get it. Puck wouldn't settle down as Proctor trying to get to it and the puck bouncing around. Headed the other way is Flazar. Flazar on the far circle. She has it knocked away. Good job by forehand. Coming the other direction is Proctor. Now Rubin gets that puck out into the neutral zone. Fired right back in by the Spartans. Michigan coming down over center ice's forehand, gaining the zone. Forehand trying to put it into the far corner. Battle for it there, pinned against the boards. Spartans come away with it as Schlee had it loose on the far circle. Flazar grabs it, comes down the far boards over her own blue line. Flazar feeds it ahead. Coming in is Santi with a blocker save by Poneth off of into the near corner. Matthews trying to get to it as it slips right back behind Poneth. 13:37 left to go here in the third. 3-3 is the score. Michigan gains the zone, coming ahead with it as Katie German trying to put it in. Puck loose on the far side of the goal. Michigan pulls it right back behind into the near corner as Swanson trying to fire it out in front as the puck loose, gathered in, heading the other direction with it is Brodsky. Brodsky gaining the Michigan zone. Delayed penalty coming up to the Wolverines as Matthews touches it back behind. And the Spartans will have a hooking call against Michigan. So it'll be a Spartans power play as into the box goes Simmer. That at 13:06. Simmer for a hook Face-off will be to Ponit's left in the far face-off circle. Schlee in there to take the face-off versus Gargiulo. Puck into the far corner as Kolwich trying to get it over to Gargiulo. Swept right back behind Ponit into the near corner. Levinson trying to pull that away. Now loose on the near circle. Over to McPherson with a shot. And blocked. Here comes Michigan. Gargiulo racing down the far boards. Gargiulo has that poked away by McPherson, who goes back behind her own goal from the far side to the near side. McPherson gains the neutral zone, now into the Michigan zone. McPherson trying to skate through traffic. DeCrazy knocks it away. That puck lifted back into the neutral zone. Here comes Menzer with it. Menzer into the zone outside the near circle. Menzer into the near corner. Kolwich trying to drive her wide. The puck into the far corner. Menzer gets it all the way back to Novell at the far point. Novell has it on the far circle, skating down, lifts it back. Leonard with the one-timer. That's sticked into the far near corner by Ponith. Grabbing it there, Menzer. Back behind to Flazar underneath the near circle. Drop pass to Menzer. That goes centering attempt all the way in along the far boards. Trying to knock it away is DeCrazy. DeCrazy lifts it back, but held in by Menzer at the far point. The puck now into the near corner. Gathered in by Novell. Novell on the near circle over to Leonard. Leonard, centering attempt. Glove save by Ponit. 33 seconds left to go in the Michigan penalty kill. 11:40 left to go here in this, the third period. 3-3 is our score. It's a lot of threes, right? Third period, 3-3, 33 seconds left in the power play. It's all right, it happens that way sometimes. Face off to Ponit's right in the near face-off circle. Lazar comes out to take the face-off, trying to get a number. That's Evans for Michigan. As that puck, top of the near circle, coming through the slot. Lazar gets it over to McPherson in the far point. Coming over on the near point is Trilep back to McPherson, who ricochets it off the far boards. Puck loose in the far circle. Michigan gets it back to the far point, but held in by McPherson. Shot out in front, now cleared all the way down. 12 seconds left to go in the Spartan power play as Van Solkema stops it back behind her goal. Gets it ahead, now Rieger moving it over to Daniels. Daniels brings it in, battle for it. Michigan fires it right back. Michigan returns to full strength. That puck in along the end boards. Icing waved off. Lazar grabs it at her own blue line. Puck outside the near circle. Lazar coming away with it. Back behind her own goal. The puck outside the far circle now. Siciliano had it. Shot by Izzy German. That just goes wide. Back over to the near point where Katie German has it. Katie German trying to drive it deep. Now Swanson chasing it, but Rieger fires it around the boards. Siciliano fires it all the way back into the Michigan end. Picked up by Katie German at her own blue line. Ahead to Simmer. Simmer, top of the near circle. Simmer, centering attempt. That works its way all the way through into the far corner. McPherson trying to get it out. Held in at the far point by Levinson. Michigan in the far corner. Now battle for it right back behind the Spartan goal. Gathered in by Rabman. Rabman outside the near circle. Eliason puts it back deep and along the end boards. Rieger trying to get to it. Matthews chasing it down. Matthews and McPherson end up in a pile. That pulled away by Rieger off of the near boards. Rabman trying to move it over. Michigan able to hold it in. That's sent back deep by Matthews. Gathering it in. Eliason trying to pull it away from Rieger. Trying to battle in there as well is Swanson, who started off the scoring today. Picked up. Triolet has it. Held in at the near point by forehand with a shot. That glove down by Van Solkema. Goes right back behind her own goal as trying to get to it as covered up. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. 9:27 left to go here. In the third, 3-3 is our score. Rubin in to take the face-off versus Rabman. Puck outside the near circle, bringing it ahead. Zagrabelny had it, now back over to Novell. Novell launches it all the way down the ice, down the far boards. Leonard trying to get to it in a foot race with Katie German. That's swept around but pulled down by Lindahl. Lindahl banks it off of the far boards, lifted ahead. Here comes Evans with it right at center ice. Leaves it over for Rubin. Rubin, drop pass, stolen away by Leonard. Leonard over her own blue line, and along the near boards, gathered in by Zagrobelny. Zagrobelny, centering attempt, and all the way into the far corner. Leonard outside the far circle. 8:45 left to go here in the third, all knotted up at 3 apiece. The puck held in at the far point. Shot that loose. Here comes Michigan as that fed ahead by Katie German over to Lindahl. Lindahl feeds it over. Here comes Swanson with it. Swanson in the slot goes over onto the far circle and into the far corner. That rimmed all the way outside of the near circle. Coming in to grab it and try and fire it deep as Levinson. Picked up as Mickelson trying to get it back there. I believe that's Novell as well. Digging. The puck comes loose outside the near circle. Michigan fires it. And slips past into the neutral zone. Kolwich retreats to her own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Santi. Matthews feeds it ahead into the Spartan zone. Dewar trying to fire it ahead. There's a shot from the far circle, covered up. As I believe that was Matthews with the shot from the far circle. 7:53 left to go here in the third. 3-3 is the score. The later it gets, the harder it will be for the team that doesn't score the next goal to come back. Gargiulo in to take the face off. Schlee has it, that drop back. Michigan right back to the far point, gathered in, coming ahead with it is Brodsky. Brought back in by Eliason, battling Dewar outside the near circle. Here comes Gargiulo. Knocked back down, gathered in. Levinson has it top of the near circle. Shot, saved by Van Solkema. Back over, as there's a shot from the far point that goes wide outside the near circle. Levinson puts it back into the near corner of the Spartan zone. Triolet trying to feed it ahead. Trying to dig at it. Schlee pulls it away. That was Rieger who had it. Back outside the near circle. Here comes DeCreasy trying to hold it in, battling on the near circle. DeCreasy coming through the slot as she ends up in a heap on the ground. Proctor back outside the far circle. Proctor with a wrister that goes wide. Picked up by Levinson outside the near circle. Levinson with the shot. That save, pad save by Van Solkema. All the way back into the neutral zone. Michigan touches up. Levinson lifts it back deep. 6:45 left to go here in the third. The Spartans control back behind their own goal as Dewar has it and pulled away by Evans. Evans trying to get it out in front for a one-timer for Proctor, but it wouldn't settle down as Michigan has to touch up on a delayed offsides. Katie German pulls it back at her own blue line, coming down the near boards. Katie German gains the zone on the near circle. Katie German ends up down in along the boards. The puck outside the near circle into the near corner. Rubin trying to get to it. Proctor at the near point. Proctor feeds it. Top of the far circle. Izzy German with a shot, and that's saved by Van Solkema. 6:12 left to go here in the third. 3-3 is our score. It has been a very even game. Michigan had a 2-goal lead in the first. Spartans tied it back up. Spartans scored first in the second, and Michigan tied it up, and that's where we stand as the puck outside the near circle. Trying to pull it over. Simmer on the goal line, coming ahead. That into the high slot, trying to pull it away as Levinson. Now grabbed. Here comes Mickelson with it. Mickelson stops at center ice, trying to get it over to Siciliano. Add over to McPherson, who fires it ahead to Daniels. Stolen away by forehand. Here comes Simmer with it. Simmer battling Siciliano, and that puck goes in along the end boards. Mickelson gathers it in underneath the near circle. Simmer has it in along the end boards, battling Siciliano. The puck outside the far circle. As McPherson will go off for an illegal body check, I believe. We'll see if I'm correct, as that will put Michigan on the power play. Illegal body check to call. As they can get awful physical in this game, but it's a beautiful body check if that was allowed. But that is going to put Michigan on the power play for the next 2 minutes. Face off is on the far. No, they'll move on the near face off circle. Just when I thought I knew where it was going. Swanson in to take the face off versus Flazar. The puck loose just outside of the crease. Comes back outside the near circle. Evans with it. Evans. Puck wouldn't settle down for Evans at the near point. That tipped away. Good poke check all the way back by Flazar, who chases it over. Rubens trying to get it. Gets caught up in the linesman. And back over to Triolet. Puck wouldn't settle down there as Evans moves it back over. Rubin at her own blue line. Rubin over and along the near boards to Katie German. Katie German trying to feed it ahead to Swanson, Leonard, and Flazar picking at the puck, trying to get it off of the boards. Matthew comes in to try and grab it. Matthews heading the other direction, feeds it over to Rubin, back at her own blue line. Flazar providing pressure. That ahead, gathered in. Now here comes Proctor with it. Proctor has it tipped away, and Leonard fires it all the way down. 1 minute, 7 seconds left to go in the Wolverines power play. 4:37 left to go in the contest in regulation. Pulled back, fired ahead by Brodsky. That's going to be a delayed offsides. Michigan touches up as bringing it ahead. That fired ahead by Zagrabelny. Now Katie German puts it in along the far boards over to Matthews. Matthews fires it all the way down as that will sweep right back behind Van Solkema. Rocketed, rimmed down the board. Simmer has it outside the far circle. Spins it back, top of the far circle. There's a shot by Gargiulo out in front. Matthews trying to follow it up. Simmer into the far corner. The puck, Gargiulo on the far circle. Rocket shot out in front. Diving save by Van Solkema. 23 seconds left in the Michigan power play. 3:57 left to go in the third. What a game between these two teams. Huge rivalry. Both teams want a big win to start off the season, playing in front of a full house here with lots of future Wolverines and Spartans in the crowd. Picked up into the far corner. Michigan pulls it back underneath the near circle is Matthews. And pull back to the near point. Drop pass over to DeCreasy. DeCreasy comes in. Shot. That deflects back. Simmer has it in along the end boards. Simmer battling back there with Dewar. That move back into the far corner. Spartans back to full strength. As Michigan has it. Gargiulo in the high slot. Shot and save by Van Solkema. Stopped it. Blocked it off the body. Then dove on it to cover it up before Michigan could get a stick on it. 3:26 left to go here in the third. 3-3, Michigan and the Spartans all knotted up. Face off in the near face-off circle. Mickelson versus Rubin. That pulled back by Proctor outside the near circle for Michigan. Trying to get it out in front to Rubin. Katie German holds it in at the far point. Shot, that deflects. Katie German trying to hold it in. Now here comes a 2-on-1. Mickelson coming ahead with it. Mickelson gains the zone. That popped down, trying to get it into the near corner. Good job by McCarthy to stay in front of it. Now there's a shot by Siciliano that's poked away into the near corner. Under 3 minutes to go, left in regulation. Michigan sends it ahead into the neutral zone, in along the far boards. Evans trying to get to it. That pulled back by McPherson. Over to Siciliano, who rockets it all the way down. Blocked by Katie German, who brings it the other direction. Katie German gains his own. Fires it over on the far circle with a shot for Eliasson. That goes outside the near circle. Lifting it back. That off of Mickelson's skates. Held in by Levinson. Levinson on the far circle. Avoiding pressure by Daniels. Trying to get it out in front to Evans. That puck into the near corner. Gathered in. Rocketed down by Daniels. Picking it up Swanson. Swanson has it at center ice. Coming in. Avoids a hooking call. Swanson taken down in the high slot. That popped up high. Bouncing puck coming over. Katie German can't hold it in as it tips back into the Michigan zone. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left to go. 3-3 is our score. The puck loose in the neutral zone. Simmer trying to get to it. Now that brought in, but offsides. As Simmer tried to grab it, she drifted into the zone. Matthews trying to get to it. But Simmer couldn't just quite get offsides. You could see her Eyes went big as she was trying to get back over. 1 minute 59 seconds left to go here in the third. 3-3 is the score. In along the near boards, pulling it down into the zone is Levinson. Levinson on the near circle. Back over to Gargiulo with a backhander. That out in front. Now on the near circle, swept away by the Spartans. Zagrabelny puts it all the way back to Rabman. Back to Zagrabelny as it was knocked away by Eliasson. Into the near corner. Eliasson pulls it back behind her own goal. Grabbing it into the near corner. That puck at the near point to Novell. Novell puts it out in front. And Poneff with the save. 1 minute, 27 seconds left to go here in the third. At 5:30, the Metro Jets will play. If you're out in the area, please come on down and check it out at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Otherwise, you can watch at Hockey TV. I think they rebranded it. That loose in the near circle, knocked away. Trying to hold it in for the Spartans. Proctor puts it out into the neutral zone. Gathered in, Novell in along the near board. Rubin trying to knock that away. Zagrabelny had it. Now here comes Proctor. Proctor gains the zone. Proctor on the near circle. Proctor with the shot. Oh, the puck loose out in front. As that gathered in. And Izzy German, that got loose into the near corner. Less than a minute to go. The puck outside the near circle. Novell puts it in along the far boards. Simmer gains the zone, but offsides the call as Evans was still trying to get out of the zone. Oh, a couple opportunities as Van Solkema make that save. It was sitting right in the low slot, and Michigan couldn't quite get a stick on it. Then a blast from Izzy German from the far point. Couldn't quite find its way in. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Mickelson in versus Matthews. That puck gathered in. Michigan on the far circle with a shot. Glove save by Van Solkema. Lots of love from her defensive pairing in front of her. Face-off in the far face-off circle. 45.3 seconds left to go. Matthews versus Mickelson. Michigan would love a face-off goal here. The puck outside the far circle. Rimmed right back around. Simmer has it underneath the near circle. Simmer trying to pull it away. Pinned against the boards. Matthews in along the end boards. Battling with Mickelson. And pulled back. Now Matthews goes from the near side to the far side. Into the far corner. Matthews pinned there by Dewar. The puck loose on the far circle. Mickelson backhands it back into the neutral zone. 18 seconds left to go. Pulling it away. Here comes Izzy German. Izzy German banks it ahead. Dewar sends it right back in. Izzy German in the far corner. Lifts it over. Here comes Simmer down. Simmer moves it over to Matthews. 5 seconds left to go. The puck loose, and the Spartans send it back, and that will do it for regulation. Now, I know with the Jets game right after this, I'm not positive. Looks like we may well have a overtime period. So no scoring in the third, as it was a penalty to Michigan as Simmer got a hook at 13:06. Then Spartans penalty. It was McPherson for an illegal body check at 5:34, but both penalties killed off. So we go to a 5-minute overtime. First game of the season, first overtime game of the season. You can't get much better than that. Really, really great game between these two squads. Both looking to get their season off the right way. Both would love to get a little bragging rights early in the season on their arch rivals. Both want to put on a show for all these young hockey players in the audience. Trying to give them dreams of playing for the Wolverines or the Spartans. As again, this game is hosted by the Metro Junior Jets girls hockey team. We are very grateful for them hosting, letting us up into their press box here as both teams getting last moment instructions from their coaching staff, Coach Tribbiano and Coach Blackburn, talking to their team. as both squads set out onto the ice. Sponeth will skate down to our left. Van Solkema to our right. Michigan going from right to left. Or, excuse me, Michigan going from left to right. I swear I know my directions. How about this? They're going port to starboard here in the 5-minute overtime period. 3-on-3 hockey. Swanson out there, as well as Levinson and DeCreasy for Michigan, as Daniels in to take the face-off for the Spartans. Manzer, and I believe that's Novell out there for the Spartans. That's sent back deep, 3-on-3 hockey for 5 minutes. Van Solkema stops it back behind her own goal, and it's sent up into the netting. That'll be a face-off here in the Spartan zone. 4:50 left to go here in 3-on-3 overtime. Daniels versus Swanson in the near circle. Still battling, gets it back, trying to get it to the near point. Levinson trying to grab it, racing over as Manzer gets it over to Novell. Novell on the far circle. Novell with a rising shot. That outside the near circle. Novell into the near corner, trying to fire it out in front. Punneth with a save. The puck loose on the near circle. Daniels picks it up into the near corner. Daniels back behind her own goal, or back behind the Michigan goal. Daniels on the far circle, heads back out to the far point. Daniels trying to put it on the far circle. Knocked away by Levinson, bringing it ahead. Here comes Michigan as they fire it all the way down. Icing waved off as that's gathered in. Novell rockets it forward down the near boards. Evans trying to tip it away. Bringing it in is Flazar. Now here comes Michigan the other direction. Evans gains the zone on the near circle. Evans moves it over to Proctor, who can't quite get a stick on it. Just out of her reach. Proctor trying to get it back to the near point to Katie German. Katie German battling in along the boards. Trying to get it away from Leonard. That pulled back. Flazar gets it over on the near side to McPherson. McPherson coming down one-on-one. That knocked away. Great job by Proctor to deflect it back. McPherson puts it back in along the M boards. Evans has it back behind her own goal, coming down the far boards. She's ridden off the puck. That picked up as Katie German loses an edge. The puck loose, coming in with it. Flazar puts it out in front. That knocked away. McPherson in the high slot, deflected, and here comes Evans with it into the neutral zone. Katie German was swept off the puck. McPherson coming the other direction on a breakaway. McPherson with the shot. That saved back outside the far circle. Michigan trying to come ahead with it. Here comes a breakaway, as coming on the near side is Matthews. Matthews fires it in. That puck saved by Van Solkema. All the way back into the neutral zone. Racing back to get it is Gargiulo. Gargiulo ahead to Rubin. Rubin right at center ice. Moves it across to Matthews. Matthews top of the far circle. Matthews outside the far circle. Pulled away in along the end boards, as that is Siciliano with it. Gets it ahead to Schlee. Schlee fires it deep into the Michigan zone. Icing waved off. Gargiulo trying to get to it. 3-on-3 sudden death hockey for 5 minutes. 2:23 left to go here in the overtime. As Schlee puts it on net. That knocked away by Poneth, trying to put it out in front. Michigan feeds it into the neutral zone. Here comes Rubin trying to get to it. Stolen away by Siciliano. Picked up by Gargiulo, pointing out signals. Gargiulo on the near circle of her own zone. 2 minutes left to go in the overtime period. Here comes Levinson, who gains his own. Levinson, high slot with a shot. That deflected into the far corner. Levinson goes back behind the Spartan goal into the near corner. Levinson outside the near circle. Levinson feeding it. That trying to shot. That pulled away by the Spartans. Racing down here comes the Spartans into the zone as Santi had it. Or excuse me, that was Manzer who had it. Now here comes DeCreasy the other direction. DeCreasy gains the zone on the far circle. DeCreasy driven wide, trying to get the puck back outside the far circle. DeCreasy puts it right back behind the goal. Novell has it underneath the near circle of her own zone. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. The puck skitters all the way down the ice. Evans chases it back in along the M boards. Evans trying to avoid pressure, coming down the far boards. Evans feeds it ahead. Here comes Michigan. Proctor trying to fire it deep. That knocked away by McPherson. Last minute to play in overtime into the near corner. Evans feeds it ahead. Here comes Proctor with it over center ice. Proctor gains his own. Back to Katie German. Katie German comes in with it with a shot that just goes wide. Leonard with it into the far corner. Katie German trying to get to it. Now McPherson sends it down the near boards. 37 seconds left to go. Flazar has it knocked away from Matthews. Matthews coming down the near boards. Matthews has it right at the neutral zone, coming ahead with it. Here comes Gargiulo. Gargiulo with 25 seconds left has that puck knocked away. Matthews back into her own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Slee as well as Anderson. Matthews back behind her own goal into the far corner. 14 seconds left to go. The puck back into the neutral zone. Chasing it is Siciliano. 7 seconds left to go. Siciliano fires it ahead. Picked up by Anderson. Anderson over to Schlee. 1 second left, and that's blocked, and we go. It is a final 3-3 in overtime. It was so good it couldn't be decided, as both teams look to have a fantastic regular season in front of them. Tomorrow, Michigan will be at Adrian as their tests get even tougher, as they will be 7 o'clock at Arrington Ice Arena to battle the Adrian Bulldogs. We want to thank everyone for watching and supporting these amazing athletes, these fantastic teams wherever you are at. Thank you so very, very much. We'll be back on air at 7 o'clock tomorrow as the best tradition in all of sports, the post-game handshake. Well, hopefully all you Wolverines and Spartans have a great rest of your day. We'll be back on air tomorrow. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you and good night.